Assalamu alaikum. There's always been hostility towards Muslims and Islam, with Operation Enduring Freedom still raging on after 14 years, to attacks on Paris, the Syrian refugee debate. Muslims around the world are feeling the tension. The first thing that non-Muslims do is they claim that Islam is representative towards terror, is they use the Holy Quran. But the problem is they not only don't use one with tafsir, that's the explanation. That's usually with the verses that are pretty vague. They don't really have any explanations, such as places, such as dates. So these people are called mufassir, and they go through and they add the explanation for you. So usually what that does is it changes the tone of a verse that may sound really violent and hostile to one that is actually not. For example, in the Quran, there's a verse that's always used to say that Muslims want to kill non-Muslims. And that is verse 191 of Al-Baqarah, which is the second book. It's actually a surah in the Quran. And that verse is, and this is all that they give of the verse. They don't give the whole verse ever. Is, and kill them wherever you overtake them. That's it. However, the rest of the verse is, and expel them from wherever they have expelled you. And fitna is worse than killing. And do not fight them at al-Masjid al-Haram until they fight you. Until they fight you there. But if they fight you there, then kill them. Such is the recompense of disbelievers. Disbelievers, not Christians, not Jews. People who either don't believe in any God, or people that don't believe in just the one sole God. So, those are who that's talking about. Christians and Jews in the Quran are referred to as al-Kitab, which means people of the book. So, anyway, they don't ever go to the verse before it, which says, only to engage in fighting if you're attacked. And they never read the verse after it, which says, if your attacker stops, your non-believing attacker stops attacking you, that you too should stop attack. Don't go back and do anything, because that's it. Like, yeah, you can go ahead and go through the legal system, but you can't attack them physically because they're stopped. Okay. Everyone seems to think that Muhammad, peace be upon him, invented Islam. Like, you read it everywhere in books, on internet websites, everywhere. Even people who are knowledgeable, people who are have studied Eastern religions and stuff like that. But he's not, because we believe as Muslims that the very first prophet, the very first Muslim, was the Prophet Adam alayhi salam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he was also illiterate. So a lot of people say, like, he copied the Bible, he copied the Torah. But if you're illiterate, then how are you doing that? Also, in his time, the 600s, paganism was the majority religion. So that's why in the Quran, the infidel, the kufr, is actually pretty much referring to just pagans in general. Um, so, one means of scare tactic is the media uses that women are oppressed and we are abused. I mean, look at me in my burqa. So you're probably thinking, like, my husband forces me to wear it. However, I'm not married. So if I'm not married, then my father must make me do this, right? Except my father doesn't have a religion, so. The truth is, there's no compulsion in Islam. So, the verse that supports that is, verse 256 of the same book. And it says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth has been made clear from error. Whoever rejects false worship and believes in Allah has grasped the most trustworthy handhold that never breaks, and Allah hears and knows all things." So, Muslims are not going to come around. They're not going to force you to be Muslim. And if you are a Muslim, then no one can make you, like, do Sharia law, I guess. Like, for instance, you see a lot of Muslim women who don't wear anything at all, and no one can make them put that on. So, there's no compulsion. No one can force me to marry. No one can do that. So go ahead, go get crunk, eat that ham at Christmas. So, the verse that, regarding this, it was revealed in Mecca. There was a little boy. He wanted to leave with a Jewish family that was being expelled from Mecca. His parents were very distraught about it, so they went to see the Prophet, peace be upon him. And he actually gave them something that they didn't want to hear, which was, sorry, can't help you because you can't force him. So, and in verse 532, the Quran states that one innocent death equals to killing all of mankind. Likewise, saving one person is like saving the entire mankind. So, I'm wondering, if you're killing, how many people was it? 287 people so far alone in November? I'm just wondering, like, how many people that equates to if one equals, the entire population. As Muslims, and most Muslims, I'm going to say probably 90% of Muslims that are aware of what's occurring today, because a lot of Muslims don't, because they live in developing countries. Many of the countries in the Middle East are illiterate, so they don't have TVs, they can't watch the news, so they don't understand what's going on. But those of us who do, we don't agree with it. We don't want that to happen. When we do speak up, like, there'll be like a Muslim scholar, like on CNN or Fox News, typical conservative run media. They'll be like preaching so hard against terrorism and against what's going on. And as soon as the host or the moderator or whoever it is realizes that that person that they have is not extreme, they're not an angry person, they're not going to give in to being verbally attacked, they just cut them off. So you'll have Muslims, condemning everything that's going on, and it just falls on deaf ears. People are claiming they want to see Muslims coming out and rallying and picketing and probably engaging in more violence towards ISIS. But I already gave you 2 verses. Me, I can't go out and attack them physically until I have been attacked. So Allah does not want any violence, so, but, how dare us not condone terrorism, my heart, it truly does weep for all of the victims in all of the attacks. But please stop blaming me. I disagree too, but, I dress this way solely to please my Creator. I don't dress it because somebody told me to. I don't dress it because, there's some, radical verse in the Quran or Hadith, tries to say that women should be forced to wear it. We're not. Those of us that wear it want to. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there are women who are forced, but that's not the majority. So, I wish peace and blessings, upon to all of you and all of your families, whether you're Muslim or not. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for your time. Shukran la wafakti. Masalama.